In a good mood and I'm very fucking proud of you. And I want and need you to understand me. When I give you a hard time or you cry, I'm sorry. Never mean for that to happen. I feel the same way a lot of the times. Um, you are doing enough. You're when you don't know what to do next, when you vocalize it in the manner of speaking so I can hear it, I know you're doing all and the best that you can. I see it everywhere. I look, I can see your imprint, your footprint. Sorry. A footprint is something you've done that will stay there for forever. When it's on a media broadcast or it's streamed, live streamed, it won't get, people aren't going to watch old news. So if you see NEWS, it's done by day, right? And you guys are doing current world events, which is fucking great. Um, you guys need to put your heads together to do something timeless, like the constellations, but a little bit different. Um, I know you're creative as fuck, and you get frustrated when I'm frustrated because we're living the Vida Loca here. Living the La Vida Loca. Um,
The place looks really clean.
it is, yeah. It's been the floor was just waxed.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, yeah, just waxed. Um,
You kind of wax it, do you?
Jay got waxed from his mom's when he helped his mom move.
Mm.
Um, I think something in the lines of when you have an eye of a storm, to be able to open it up and make it a lateral movement. Try to percussion it so you get a bunch of small ones. Or you can have a frequency stop on the edges, creating lift like a tunnel cloud, but compression from a ceiling. So you would have to go. This is just my perception on it. In the ratio from atmospheric pressure to ceiling frequency, um, or atmospheric river frequency, you would have to create centripetal force with, on every third of the length, you would want to create a third notion of a backward spiral fracture. And then that of the length of the lateral line with the tail to one part on each vertices edge, completing two parts on the outspin, and then doubling back the full perimeter. Where the line is drawn, there should be the line, two directional changes, final kaleidoscope. I would like to see the two lines being pulled off. Last night when we talked about the two circles, one being up and one being down, I would want the two lines of equal third party ratio being set vertically, and then the top notion and the bottom being set horizontally, but at atmospheric pressure to ceiling, to stabilize the creation of a pull force, of a funnel cloud and a tornado up and down at the same time, creating and then twisting to create a figure 8 cloud. Propulsion, a giant wheel, we'll call it a water wheel, that you can slam on the shore to actually fill in the droughted areas, or to whip out of the ocean up. Like, I don't want to see tunnel clouds. They've been done. I would like, and I know you're capable of creating a tunnel cloud that whips. I want central mass to be even flow. And if done properly, if encapsulated by force of a telescope, or if you can research or get a visual imprint of filling 2 bottles up with water of the same source, the same fluid, and then joining them in the center, and then spinning it so the water mass is in both bottles, and spinning it so it creates a vortex on 2 sides of lateral movement. It will create a funnel on both sides of the vortex. And it pretty much would go never ending if you could figure eight it. She might even split into 4. To start sucking in clouds and that kind of nonsense, or dirt or whatever. Pollen, whatever's part of your medium. Use you guys as a source. And if you get Hazel and others, I'm just calling her out because of Hazel TV right now. And but if you can use, I'm just gonna say that frequency simulated to do the same movements on each point, you might be able to bootstrap your rhythm harmonic in water through every soul source. When I think of water molecular, it's 13. It's got something to do with the 7th particle, proton, off of a cluster. I remember this, I don't know how. But you're going to find something molecular at the 7th in relation to community knowing one another through a 7th person. Water detoxification at 6 feet. You love numbers. That would be 13. That would be my way of looking at the galaxy, but not yours. But looking at it as a baker dozen, or 12, or 666, or however you want. Throwing out random numbers, but not random to me. It has real meaning to me. I would love you to have the Z-like tailed motion to spin it opposite than it's ever been spun before, or not, but just completed to visual expression, expert mode. And it's going to take lots of hands for this, and lots of different love languages for it to run appealing properly, to appeal everybody's sources. When I say do that stuff to trees, that's me talking surreal. And you know this. I wouldn't hurt a fucking fly. The bell's been rung enough. I just want you to go out of your comfort zone. My emotions have been imbalanced for so long that there's got to be some cool colors in there that have yet to be seen yet. And it's taken your collective to bring out the best sparkle in me when I'm in a good mood, and being able to get it across where it's not vulgar or offensive. So this is my best right now. once you get the motion going, where you have the long end and the short end of the tail, try giving it off the vortex another, or off the varicacy another vortex. So you're getting fluidity of, we'll call it a PSI rate, uh, or gravitational pressure, or atomic force, or gravitational force, off of PSI, parts per second, cylinder motion. We want to blow in some bubbles into this. We need to separate the molecular event as much and aerate it as much as possible. We want the water to turn into pressurized clouds with reverse gravity. I would love you to bring up some oil to work with it, because I would like some Rain-X on it. I would like the best parts from under the ocean going to the land that needs it to make sustainable life without an instrument, just using passion. You've already done enough. If I were to die now, I would have completed my life happily. Because I'm still alive, I'm regoaling, I'm still exploration, creating future goals off of my post-pandemic adventure to keep alive. Because if I don't have a garden that can nourish me properly. I'm too activated. My charcoal is too activated. The only way to stimulate it is to balance my notion, and it's illegal for me to do that. To be happy, it's illegal on this planet. I would love you to stop and change directions halfway through, but only on two parts. And time. When you say stimulant now, or simulation, I want you to use simulation, and everywhere where you've used it, I would like you to go back now and add a timed micro to a triggered mechanism of a response push mechanism on everything you've ever set it to. If you can follow your own tracking back, I need you to bring it up to date for reoccurrence through an automatic phone timed update. To trigger what? Everything that was deleted off the internet. We'll start with that. But we need it in a 3-part trigger. No longer / bootstrap or / start or 0 or power on or power off. It needs to be triggered because not everybody's going to ever factory reset their phones. So I need you to do it with the live active media in the cloud now. And the only way to do that is volume up, volume down, and power, and hold it. So you need to bring in your own time duration for 10 seconds. Some of my favorite coding was that of an S motion times a push key of 10 for an S10 device. Switching directions, making a figure 8. I need you to exhaust yourself on this. playing with your different emulated features and switching them around now and reversing them. Please. This is what I'm begging for you today for entertainment tomorrow. You might not be able to see a magic eye yet, but if we can pull enough people together on a positive notion, I swear you'll actually physically feel it. We're just scattered and fucking retarded still. If I could be scattered out through all people, you would see artwork created out of it based off of everybody's know-how and uniqueness. And that would cluster you guys together to fuel each other's intrigue and interest. Right now, I'm working to keep you entertained based off of what you have, what's been implanted in me has been, don't read. Everything I know I've heard, which I'm changing every day. I won't read because I don't trust the source, or the source had a leader that I didn't trust to help him make that decision. So out of every 100 things he says, I would look at how many lies he told and then go 10 to 1. So I'm in negative space here, or at so many zeros to, like, I'm going to say a 7.5 once. It won't even work. If in his whole life, I'll get one truth out of all of his lies. One truth. Out of an entire 75-year life, I'll get one truth out of every lie he's ever told. Because most of it was just to cover his own ass. So I won't read. Not saying I don't want to read your stuff, but I would rather it be brought to my... And when other people bring stuff that you've done to my attention, we'll use Meeper, because I love Meeper, or any video or media that's brought to me through your hard work that I notice that somebody else is enjoying. I enjoy it because my energy, people usually feed off my energy. People are feeding off of your energy. And I know that you should be proud, even if you don't hear it from me per se enough. I am proud because I'm seeing somebody else enjoy it. And I think it's notably awesome. I can actually notify it. It's in my awareness, and it was brought there. And I didn't have to read anything. It was shown to me. Like show and tell. And that's the part in a young kid's life where my appeal, my want to be appealed is so strong that that's their favorite part about preschooling. Not going to school, but preschooling. Communing together is bringing their favorite things from home and showing it to their friends. And being allowed to. It's not illegal yet. It's not illegal until grade 1. Then it's illegal. So, in kindergarten, preschool, it's not illegal because they're not in school yet. They're only talking about colors and finger painting. When I was in preschool, their groundhog is an animal, and my mom, there was a picture of Prince Charles or whoever, and I remember it when I was in preschool, and it said old fart in wetsuit, and I thought it was so funny. And at the same time, I had heard of Hot Dog Day and I had heard of Hamburger Day, but when I heard it was Groundhog Day, I took my mom home the newsletter and I couldn't read it. And I was excited because I never tried a groundhog before. I thought it was a form of food. So I wanted my mom to buy me a groundhog so I could eat it. because I was unaware of what it was. I had no clue it would come out and forecast weather. My mom showed it to me and I was terrified because in the newspaper clipping the thing looked like it was bigger than I was. It looked like a fucking grizzly bear. I still remember being scared of a groundhog. And then I've been to Manning Park and I've petted them and scratched their bellies. And they're pretty cute. And so are you. But I don't care about my exposure. You know, I want my exposure for one reason. But when I see your exposure exposing itself, that's a magic eye we've created together. That is unionship. We are our own union. And I want that wildfire to spread. That's quintessence to me. And I'm sorry I'm not warm and cuddly all the time. Or I take things harshly that are meant to be a joke when you're trying to cheer me up, but I just can't be cheered up sometimes. It's impossible because I've just full on hate. I have to sign my chore sheet right now. I love you endlessly. And I want to see everybody multimediating everything that you've done through their expression. Somehow creating a pyramid that will always stand and never need more gold poured on it. I don't want our media to exist on the world how it stands today. But I want your imprint to exist. Your footprint so strong that the clouds are changing colors, or that wedding ring in the sky, the Dyson. I want it to be alive. I want the water to figure eight that fucking thing. You know what I mean? I want there to be a river in the sky, but without the clouds. Just compressed in a fucking something, you know? Because I would rather sit out and watch shapes of a cloud than stare at my phone on my back. And I would love them to be like a live video to watch your plays run endlessly through time. Or touching clouds and making clouds blow bubbles or something crazy like that. I want to see the atmosphere river leave our planet and come back. Or see it have a no exit node on it. With all of the delight alive in it. I would like to see fish living in it, for fuck's sakes. And an ecosystem in it. Going right outside of our atmosphere. Not just dropping fish on the cement without a pond for them to land in. Because it's illegal for us to move stuff because they're afraid of mildew. But I would love to create rifts in the ocean for saltwater lakes where new fish can grow and not have to worry about coral rot. But your expertise can just say, let's drop this puddle here and know that it will bind and thrive. Lewis. Crime Stop Fridays. That's you, Lewis. That's you, Hurricane Lewis. I want the fish out of the ocean and the tunnel cloud to have a big pool that's got melody to it. Exactly. And I want to take a conscious eggplant with my favorite spirit in it and place it in the water for the fucking octopi and shit to play with. You know what I mean? That would mean a lot to me. An actual SpongeBob that's like Ganjuic or gorgeous, McGorgeously awesome. I want to see eggplant before I die. Metallic ones. There's not enough metallic shit in the ocean. And there's fucking aircraft carriers on the only scary thing in the ocean really is all the military presence. It's illegal for me to fly. I can't boat. They've got gunships out there. So can you give me an ocean of more emotion, please? Without the trauma that they inflict? Because they only show you their good parts, really. They're defending this. They're heroing a water puddle with sandbags. But I know Helga. And she's a fucking withered cunt. She's evil. And I want her location to be a guinea pig. The only reason there's a war right now is to plant plutonium and radiation waste. It's the only reason. And you have turned your cheek on it or learned out how to create environment from your waste. And if that emotionally triggers you, we have another Helga here. A Helga is a PLU or HTTP on this emotional fucking breath take. So, like a dog, put your ears up. It reminds me of the suit I made once out of a rabbit, like a spiritual suit. It was super hearing. It was like an owl bear and rabbit or something. It was fun. That was harmless fun. Do you remember the one of the scorpion man, but with two tails, each with a consciousness, living tail? That was sweet. That sure picked me up when skies were gray. And skies are only gray if they don't have the proper foreground to intensify the background. And that's your natural media. So represent. Thanks, Lou. One day, I want kids to grow up like